Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
That kind of kickoff return is something we call a momentum play. So if you're the offensive coordinator and you have a script of plays that you plan to run, you may change it up now because you may decide to go for some bigger strikes and try and keep the momentum going.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle.
Touchdown, New Orleans! So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
pass run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Burrow throw. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. Brings up 2nd and goal. At the 6-yard line.
Here's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Third and goal. Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot, and then we force the incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And his throw is incomplete.
I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. But on that play, they held up quite well.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Jameis to throw it.
There's Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
The Saints at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Bengals 3.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Bengals grab it.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So golden field position there is squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Burrow. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here we go.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
11, Thomas. 12, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11, 11.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 27. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there. And it's 2nd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
55 rushing yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside. They didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A 10th carry for Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara. Try to run for it. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
1-1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Burrow. And his throw here is incomplete.
The second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
11 MT paint.
Now it's Burrow.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 42. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Mixon with a 1st down carry. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Burrow looking to pass. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they go play action now. Burrow.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this 1-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there.
And it's intercepted.
picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
11 Thomas. 11 MT. 11 MT.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
Too many also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
11, 11, 11, 11. 11.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst as the first half is winding down.
And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that gives them a 3-point lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Winston. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
A 49-yard gain. That's good for the Saints.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
to Mixon on second down.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Now Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
11.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
12.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
They snapped that at 1. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
McPherson's kick is good,
and they have regained the lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Last time I remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
11, Tommy.
On 2nd and 10. Burrow. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming out 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
I'm wondering.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
11,
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He's going to try and go deep again.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded at about the 28. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Hey, stop. Wait. Hey, stop.
On 2nd and 9, Winston airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Winston. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Chris Olave.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Saints have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Hey, Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during this series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That one good for 37 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
11 MT, hey! 11 MT, 11, 11, 11.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan so tough to block as he gets in there to record the sack.
Here we go.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
12.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here and climb back into this game in the third quarter. Instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick six.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person who just ended up in the end zone with the football, he was the one that answered the bell.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
11 MT, hey! 11 come.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
11
On third and one, Burrow. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
11.
Here we go. It's Burrow on fourth down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they wind up with a gain of 11 there on fourth down.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Mixing up the middle.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 18-yard line.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is Smith with a grab. And past the 30 before he's out of bounds. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From his end zone, here's Trent Taylor. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to his knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. On 2nd down, Kamara. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Saints take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Lutz good on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers you would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally...
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now Burrow on first down. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Kamara up the middle. And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
11 MT, 11 MT. 11.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is.